Welcome to INS, the International News Service, your source for the most important weird news from across the globe. With news analyst Kevin Harrison, actor, comedian, and musician Mike Wiebe, and professional commentator Brian Camp. INS, the news you need.
A grasshopper drink is creme de menthe, creme de cacao, and heavy cream.
Cacao. Heavy cream.
Oh, it looks like it sprinkles something like maybe nutmeg on top too, or something.
Yeah, nut. Sprinkle that nut all over that nutmeg.
Already starting off highbrow. That's great.
What? I like nutmeg.
No, that's you know what you did.
I just said I like to sprinkle some nutmeg all over that. I can't help it if I talk with a sensual, kind of, like a fuck voice.
How many jobs you've been fired from for asking to borrow a pen?
Not borrow a pen.
I know you've got a pen.
Mm.
You like pens, right? Mm-hmm. What color pen is that?
Oh, you
like
got a
that?
pen? What kind of pen is that?
Well, be careful. The ink. Oh, does it?
I like to click
that pen.
I like to click the pen off and on and watch the little tip go in and out, in and out, in and out.
It works all the ink up to the tip.
Mm-hmm. Hope it doesn't spill ink all over your pretty dress.
You can't see this, but I'm just letting the audience know. Mike has his hand up, and he's very slowly miming the clicking of a pen.
Mm-hmm.
Called full commitment, Kevin.
He might have his tongue probing the side of his cheek.
Oh, he in fact does.
Called full commitment.
Mm.
And unfortunately, at this point, pretty soon, the pen's not going to be full no more.
No,
it'll be all out of ink. What do you have? What are you having for lunch? Are those Lunchables? Eating some Lunchables?
Tell me about your fruit roll up.
Maybe we share that fruit roll up.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I bite little holes in the fruit roll up and hold it up to my face, like it's got eyes on it now. Oh, don't worry, I can do that. Like I made myself a little fruit roll-up mask. Oh, don't worry, I can also do it with bread. And also do that with a piece of bread. They call me Bread Face. And let's just say that anywhere Bread Face has ever been seen, if you saw Bread Face on Rainy Street, you didn't see Bread Face. You quickly saw. Okay, now hold on. Let me go back. Are
you confessing to being a non-existent serial killer?
No.
Is that what's happening?
I'm just saying that if Breadface was seen around Rainy Street, maybe someone else also saw the bottom of a lake.
Oh, you're referring to the mysterious deaths in Austin, Texas.
Huh? What?
Not that
I was
mysterious.
talking about swimming.
Right. Turns out getting hammered and falling in the water, historically, not just in Austin, has been a good way to die.
Yeah.
I don't know about a good way to die.
That's pretty good. I hear drowning's not that bad.
Who'd you talk to?
People.
Yeah, we had growing up near Lake Louisville, as we did, in Denton
You
County.
mean Lake Loserville?
Yeah, I've been calling it. Yeah, I've been calling it that. That there were a lot of drownings every year. I remember.
Right. Yeah.
There was always, in fact, to the point where I'll be honest with you, I'm a little scared of lakes.
And also microbes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Parasites.
It would kill people. Yeah. In the
Zebra
lake.
mussels.
Brain-eating amoeba. Never go to a splash park.
Like Wet and Wild?
A lot of urine. A lot of kids swimming in there, peeing in
that's
the
not
lake.
I can tell you for a fact that's not going to hurt you.
It's water that was once chlorinated, sitting in pipes at about 80 to 90 degrees for long periods of time, then being forced into people's faces and their ears and up their nostrils. The amoeba gains entry.
What about their buttholes and pussies?
Well, if it gets in either of
Penis
those
holes.
orifices, I don't know.
yes.
Orify, then the amoeba can't make its way up to your brain, but it will eat out your gonads,
Oh, you know,
and not in a good
you know.
way. Not
You know,
Oh.
Yeah, I don't want to brag, but in some ways, I'm a little bit like a microbe.
how's that, Mike?
Let's just say that if your gonads haven't been eaten out yet, it's either going to be the microbes or old M-Dub.
Welcome to the International News Service. We're your hosts. I'm Kevin Harrison, along with
Yep,
Microbe Wiebe.
that's a good nickname.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
yeah.
And then we got Mark Ryan down there in the corner, fucking throwing up gang signs.
What's up, guys?
I believe that's a West Side symbol, and now he's moved to the Bloods logo. He spelled out the word blood with two hands.
I'm wearing blue right now.
Yeah, it's very confusing. It's very confusing to me.
Because you know
I
what,
can't tell.
Mark doesn't mind living a life of danger.
Yeah, I've always thought that about Mark. Now
Wow.
Mike is
That's
doing
pretty
his
good.
best to.
The best part about Mike trying to flash gang signs is that he's wearing a Grim Reaper T-shirt. It says
What?
"Toke" on it.
I'm about
Yeah,
that life.
Grim
No, it
Reaper.
says stoked, and it's also tie dye. And then I'm wearing a cardigan that is purported
Reported.
on
to
it.
be one of Kurt Cobain's old cardigans. And were I able to prove that,
Uh-huh.
I would not be doing this podcast. I would be fucking hanging out. I would be fucking riding my jet ski right now is what I'd be doing.
I think it was
I'd
like
be riding my fucking jet ski around a microbe-filled lake.
Well, someone who's watched a lot of Antique Roadshow, I think you need to just dig through some photographs so you find
Yeah.
a black and white that looks just like that one, and then pin it up on some cardboard, and then get some glossy prints of that, mat those pictures, put it next to it, and then type an explanation,
right.
and then leave it
Yeah.
in your attic for a year, and then bring it down, and then
Yeah.
take it to
Yeah.
a convention center where somebody will say, with this provenance, you're looking at something that was really, I would insure it at least $75.
Oh no! They sold a Nirvana broken guitar sold like last week for $600,000.
Yeah, no.
Kurt Cobain's cardigan's
Stupid.
selling for more than that.
Yeah, there was a cardigan that sold for $100K.
Yeah,
But if some motherfucker uses the word prominence around me, I'm fucking decking him.
it's provenance.
Provenance.
Either way, I'm fucking swinging. I am
Provenance.
swinging, and they're gonna kick me off the show.
Uh-huh.
Would you call me?
Hey man, you gotta get your name out there somehow. I
Right.
think it's a good way to let people know that you're a one-stop shop for suicide cardigans. Speaking of
Yeah.
Lincoln,
Ooh, that's a pretty good title. I like
Yeah.
suicide cardigans. That's a pretty
Yeah.
solid.
man,
I'm gonna be honest with you guys.
Yes.
I do need to get my name out there because I am
Right. Be in
getting
the right place.
fucked
Uh-huh.
by this writer's strike.
Oh yeah.
I mean, we were seconds to go on the new Jack Wharton,
Oh,
and fucking
okay.
Hollywood
Yeah.
shut down.
Yeah.
Jack Wharton and the TikTok Tango Killer. About
ripped from the headlines.
well, we had real TikTok stars. We had cast some of the top TikTok stars working today.
Oh, and who?
Yeah.
Let's name some of them for us. 'Cause we
There
know
was Zuga XX.
them. Okay.
There was Titty Tina.
Okay.
She's got titties and she bounces them.
Uh-huh.
There was Hillbilly Jeff. There was
Okay.
Slod. We've got
Wait, how do you spell slod? Is it just spelled like salad?
yeah.
No, it's,
Oh, okay.
have we slots are they're D&D monsters.
Well, that's his avatar as a slod, but
Okay,
you know
it's a slod,
they
alright.
they make it up. I mean, this is all.
All right.
There's a guy named Michael,
Uh-huh.
just a TikTok guy named Michael, but it's like his name is like M number 1,
Uh-huh.
a bunch of fucking emojis, and then a Q in there somehow.
Mhm.
But I mean, these are like some of the top TikTok kids on there, and I was about to
Uh-huh.
break into that market,
Right.
and then this fucking writer's strike is really, really chapping my both cheeks. I'll say. But I'm strongly, and I think we're almost there. It's scab time, guys.
Uh-oh.
And this is a lot of opportunity. No, you can. This is I just pitched this as an opportunity for all of you. I gotta say, I stand with the studios at this point.
About time.
And I think I'm sick of these, bunch of guys that look like they sing for Weezer holding up entertainment for everybody.
I see.
Right.
And it's fucking bullshit.
Isn't the
Just for 1 second, don't say anything if you hate the unions. I know. I agree. I absolutely fucking agree.
Yeah, we need more content.
That's what I'm screaming. I've been protesting the protesters.
Oh, I see. That's how are you doing that?
Well, I go down to where they're picketing, and I have my own little picket line. I got a sign that says, "I can't feed my brain with money."
That sends a strong message.
Well,
it's saying I need content. My eyes need content. I can't fucking feed. I can't scroll with money. I can't scroll with.
So you have money, but you want content instead?
No, they want money, and that's bullshit. I want content. They want money.
I see.
And it's like, you can't. What do you do with money? Nothing.
So you're saying there can't be a world where they get money and you get content?
I don't care what they get. I just need content. And I'm a content maker. There's this one fucking dork that was standing out there, and he had this sign that said, "Just because you make content doesn't mean you are content." And that's some fucking loser writer shit to put up on a sign.
Yeah, it's kind of bad.
I don't believe that sign exists.
I threw a cinder block at him. It doesn't exist anymore, because I ripped it out of his hands. I ripped it out of his hands and hit him in the shins with it.
So this week we have a true crime story and kind of a revenge story. I'll let you guys decide what kind of story it is.
Are we allowed to even talk about it? Because this precious fucking mama's boys can't finish. We need less hours if we're going to finish the script to the next episode of Grey's Anatomy.
That show has been on the air.
Well, let me write it for you. The doctors get naked and fuck.
Oh, I'd watch that show.
Well, I guess I'm going to get sued now because I just wrote an episode.
And this is a real question.
Okay,
I got real answers. I'm affected by this.
My fellows. Isn't the real risk of the writer's strike is that everybody kind of realizes that they don't care, that there aren't writers writing shows, that we don't really, that there's plenty of other stuff to do and watch and entertain yourself.
In all seriousness, that is 100% what happened on the last writer's strike, and that's why we have 40,000 reality shows.
Right. Yeah. That's what they plugged in, right?
Indirectly, why we have one of the biggest mentally deficient presidents of all time for 4 years there, and why
there's a direct line.
My mother does not love me. Well, there's multiple reasons why she does not love me, but I'm kidding. She loves me. She thinks I'm great. She just thinks my politics are garbage.
So we agree that unions got Trump elected then? Is that the point you're making?
Exactly. 100%.
Perfect.
It's these fucking assholes. And also, have you been to a Starbucks lately? Less drizzle. There is less drizzle on a macchiato.
Oh no!
I was up there at 5 a.m. I ordered my triple venti macchiato.
Triple venti.
They know how I like it. They know how I like it. They know that I like a giant thing of whipped cream, and I like two little. I like them to make a face with it. I like to make it look like a Santa hat, and I tip them exceptionally.
Wait, how much?
Extra buck easy, and I'll get them to do two little chocolate Hershey minis eyes,
right,
and a little nose, and then I get the drizzle on there. And I swear to God, ever since all this union bullshit happened, I'm getting less drizzle.
So our first story comes to us from Sora News 24.
Oh,
George Soros. Okay, yeah, okay.
Yeah,
Mr. Union. Okay, yeah, George Soros news. So this is going to be pro-union story. I see where this is going.
It's a Japanese news site, but
even worse, they're the ones who created unions. Pretty sure.
The Yakuza is the name
First
for
union.
Japan's organized crime syndicate, and its existence goes back to the 17th century. But now, finally, Japan has started cracking down on this criminal menace. Specifically, they recently arrested a 57-year-old Yakuza member. Apparently, this outlaw was charged for allowing his dog to do its business all over its neighbor's yard twice in recent months, and he didn't pick it up.
His dog was a social media manager, and he was making content out in the yard. Filming little TikTok videos.
The two incidents occurred around 7 a.m. on both the 28th of December and the 9th of January. The Yakuza member, who takes his dog on the same walk every morning, denies the charges against him. It's unclear what evidence police have against the man. I mean, we can all kind of guess, but it's been months since the incidents occurred, and he was not arrested until May 17th. But this investigation will allow Japanese police to look into the man's businesses and his daily activities to see if he truly took the route and whether he could have been too distracted by his business dealings to notice that his dog had pooed, since it's not against the law for his dog to poo unless he notices it and then chooses not to pick it up. This also allows them to poke into his dealings as a Yakuza. Apparently, arresting Yakuza members on flimsy pretexts in order to look into their criminal conduct is common in Japan, because in April, 2 other Yakuza members were arrested for attending a baseball game.
When you said, you started off saying the dog was doing his business.
Right.
And that meant he was making fecal on the fecal matter.
He was going boom, boom all over the neighbor's yard.
But then you start talking about Yakuza business, the Yakuza guy's business, and poking around in that business. Are you talking about, so they went and actually took the Yakuza guy's shit and just rummaged around through it trying to find something?
Well, the mob tends to be very active in the sanitation industry.
They do, actually. Man, those Yakuza tattoos sure are cool, though.
Yeah, no. Have you ever seen the pictures of like all the Yakuza? It's like from like the early 19th century, early 20th century. It's all the Yakuza guys lined up, and you can see all their tattoos.
Oh yeah,
pretty cool.
They get to wear diapers.
Yes, diapers and tattoos.
They wear cloth diapers. You know how hard it is to look tough in a cloth diaper?
But they do it.
I've never been able to pull it off.
What do they call those cloth diapers? What's the word?
Mm-hmm.
Huggies.
You think they're disposable? Do they have like leak guards and
you don't want to reuse it.
Sandy
they're
strips.
Pull-ups.
Yeah. Well, they're not infants.
Yeah.
I assume
I can pull them off and on. Mommy, wow. I'm a big Yakuza now.
That's the song they sing. That's the final test.
Very
You have
musical.
to know the song. But they have to know it in English. That's the trick. For us, it's real easy. But it's not typically native English speakers, so it's a much bigger deal for them.
Yeah, there's a lot of letters that they don't use that we use. I won't go into them, but
you're gonna get a hit called on you.
Whatever.
A Yakuza dog hit, if you know what I mean.
Is Yakuza mostly gambling? Is that what they're mostly in?
Prostitution, I believe.
Prostitution is a big one. I think drugs are a thing. Yeah.
I don't think drugs are as easy going as they are here. I think that they're pretty. It's tougher to get drugs there, I think, overall.
Well, Mark, you owed money to the Yakuza. What was that all about?
How much did you borrow so that we could launch the show again?
You've got 1 or 0 pinkies.
Right.
Right. That's just that's if you're in the Yakuza, though, right? The pinky thing.
Oh yeah, Mark used to be in the Yakuza.
Well, they were really cool because they took the pinky off my right hand, so I could still play guitar.
Oh,
that's cool.
That's almost romantic.
Yeah, they were pretty cool actually about it. So,
did they let you keep that into that thing?
No, they like to keep souvenirs,
Yeah.
so they wouldn't let me keep it.
There's some people on Facebook, some groups you could probably, I'm sure they sell all the pinkies to people in North Carolina who are into that kind of thing.
Well, I do know
Victimless
that
crime.
they do have that.
It's Pennsylvania.
It's the same
And they
fucking
do
state.
have they do have a little little foreign import section at penises and fetuses. That many
That we
more,
can
but
make reference to a show 4 weeks ago.
I could never afford that stuff. You know, that's you got to pay those import prices. Are you kidding me? On the salary of a guy working at the local record store.
That record store closed 25 years ago.
Well, that's when I was living there, and that's when I was getting a lot of stuff from penises and fetuses.
Right.
But I was always domestic, except for maybe, maybe like a birthday or a holiday or something like that.
So our next story comes to us from the Daily Telegraph. Oh, wait, Brian just left. Brian has left the studio, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, wait, he's coming back.
He went out to go shout at some of the striking fucking union dorks outside the studio, yelling at us. Did you tell those union morons to shut up, Brian? When you stood up there?
Oh, is that what I was? Sure.
Well, that's what I assume. It was because there's protesters out there.
Right. Were y'all making the connection between organized crime and unions?
No, you missed it.
Pretty well known.
Well, now the connection has been made. I think you made that connection.
No, that's a
famous
sanitation thing. It's a famous thing, right?
A good connection.
Yeah.
Hey, Kevin, can I ask you a question?
Yes, sir.
In preparation for the shows, do you write anything down?
No, this is all from memory.
You write stuff, I think.
Oh.
I mean, I feel like
this is not for the screen. I don't write for the screen. You see,
is that the only union that's
covered by WGA
striking right now? Is it? I don't know. The Writers Guild?
I mean, there's other unions striking all over the world for different things, but the Writers Guild.
I just want to know if you're a scab or not. That's what I want to know, Kevin.
Yeah.
Okay. I guess you wouldn't be a scab. You just would be not working in solidarity with your union brethren.
I was at one time an IATSE journeyman, and IATSE, there's a very good chance we'll be striking with the WGA.
And then when they do it, they're going to go,
6 dice.
I hope so.
Well, you pull some shit like that, Kevin, if you're in the Yakuza, or as I call it, the Yakuza, they're going to cut off your goddamn finger.
I got 10 of them. Come at me.
That's Kevin. That's not me, Yakuza listeners.
My name is Brian. I dare you to cut off my fingers.
Shit, he's deep faking you, Brian.
I know. It's like listening to a mirror.
So our next story is from the Daily Telegraph. Their motto is, and I quote,
"Stop.
Was, is,
Stop.
and will be."
Stop.
Stop.
It sucks though. We can't. Wouldn't you? In a lot of ways, telegrams, they were the first text messages.
Wow, Mike,
Ew.
you've opened my eyes.
Wow.
It would be fun. It would be fun to sit around doing that.
I think I can't imagine anything worse in life than that.
Yeah, you also have to be a lady with horn rim glasses on, cat eye glasses, and a big bouffant kind of thing.
I thought you'd be a dude with one of those like tight armbands just above your elbow,
like a visor
and a visor. Yeah,
it's a bookie.
Well, they transmitted a lot of bets.
I was thinking Old West guy who then turns around and says, "They must have cut the lines."
Oh, they must have cut the lines.
Oh, they cut the lines in Once Upon a Time in the Old West.
And then and then my character's like, "That's the way I like it. Now I'm gonna cut their lines."
What does that mean?
And then I go into the bar and I go, whiskey. And the guy goes, "Oh, you want a shot or you want a drink?" And I go, "Bottle."
That's
pretty cool, huh?
You're dangerously close to writing right now, Mike.
I know,
be careful. Be careful.
So We have talked several times in the past about whales and about how Brian used to be a whaler in the Navy who now hates whales and carries a lifelong grudge against them.
They're a stick of dynamite.
I know about their cantos, and I know I don't buy them, and I know that they have not outsmarted whaling fleets. That's what I know about whales.
And that you threw a stick of dynamite at a beluga.
That's right.
But it just
that's how you get Jello.
It just fucked up its hearing, though. He's fine.
Right.
It's like going to a loud rock concert. Okay? Get over it, people.
So apparently, there might be something to Brian's weird whale hate, at least in the Iberian region of Europe that runs from northwest Spain down to the northwest tip of Morocco. It seems that between May and September 2020, there were at least 29 registered orca attacks where a killer whale rammed and tried to sink several sailing vessels. The problems got so bad that Spain banned ships from sailing south from its northwest coast. This all started with an orca known locally as White Gladys. The theory is that she had a run-in with a boat of some kind or got caught in a fishing net and retaliated by ramming ships and attempting to sink them. But the ban on sailing did not slake White Gladys's rage. Instead, she began swimming south in search of new ships to ram, and she has started teaching other orcas to ram ships for her. On May 2nd of this year, 6 killer whales began ramming a 22-ton boat on the Strait of Gibraltar. After an hour of ramming, the whales became uninterested in the boat and left, but not before the ship had taken on water and had to be drained once it got into port. Observers said there was a larger matriarch whale in the area too, and that this was believed to be White Gladys, and that she seemed to be supervising the other whales. 2 days later, a pod of 3 orcas attacked and sank another sailboat off the coast of Spain when they pierced its rudder. According to the article, some experts in whale behavior claim that most of the whales in the area have now been trained, and this will be a local war between whales and boats for years to come.
Well, history has taught me that in such wars, I think humanity's going to come out on top. I think we have a way to defeat whales. I'm not sure, but I feel like over time we've developed maybe weaponry that could be adapted at least to take out whales. Is whale good? Is like killer whale good? Mark, you eat whale. Is whale good?
Yeah. You like whale.
I do not.
No.
You don't like it? You don't like it?
You don't like it? Yeah.
I just remember
too much.
I went into Mark's house one time.
Got burnt out.
I went into Mark's house one time with a cake that I had baked, and Mark's wife told me I was not allowed to bring the cake in because it had milk in it, and they were vegans. And then she paused and looked at me real steely-eyed and said, "Except for whales, whale is welcome."
Didn't happen.
Whales aren't fish, so a lot of people don't know that. They're actually mammals.
Well,
there's a lot to unpack with this story, and I will start with saying that there's a whole sub piece of this that I don't even want to get into because it's a little too tricky. Is that the let's just call it what it is. It's called subtle racism when there's a regular Gladys and a white Gladys.
Brave of you, Mike, to bring that up.
You know what? I don't even want to get into that because there's a whole issue of boats and a war going on. But let's point that out.
Okay.
Right. You didn't want to mention it, but you wanted to start with it. So.
Right.
No, I just wanted to get that out of the way. If I were just to go into what we're going to talk about, people would be thinking about that, and there'd be a weird there'd be a what are they scared? What do they think? And I'm just saying I'm not going to get into it. You know what?
Okay.
I'm not. That's not my fight to control the microaggressions of the people on the northern tip of Madrid.
Who I believe are white people.
No, but who said where did it?
The northern tip of Madrid.
The southern tip of Madrid. Where is this happening?
I think Madrid is it landlocked?
Where did you say this is happening?
In the Iberian Peninsula. So from the northwest tip of Spain down Portugal.
That's where Madrid is. That's where Madrid is. It's in Spain.
It is.
Yeah, that's,
to Morocco.
You got us there.
I don't know that Madrid is in that region, but it might be. Look, we're Americans.
Listen,
we're not.
You can all just go.
You're not good at geography.
You
Madrid
can
is
all
kind
go
of in the
suck.
center of Spain.
You can suck
Damn
the tip
it.
of my Madrid.
All right, we have to edify the international listener by figuring this out real quick.
No,
gonna
Madrid
eat
is in the
someone?
center of Spain.
How do you know?
It's like the same. It's like equidistance in every direction from the sea, and nowhere is it near a coast.
Are you looking at a map?
It's equine distance, so it's like a horse
Yes.
away from it.
It's a horse away from the ocean in every direction. At least 6 horses.
You know, listeners, Italy looks like a boot.
Yeah, it
So
does.
that's a little bit of geography for you.
Yeah, it is pretty much dead center.
Yeah.
That's what I was saying. The tip.
Now Valencia, that's on the coast.
Yeah,
It's
okay.
on the-
No,
Yeah.
it's
our
Valencia.
Spanish listener, Valencia. Well, that is. I thought that was the Barcelona accent.
Barcelona.
Barcelona.
Yeah. I think all of Spain has that
Is
lisp thing. Yeah.
Did the whales have that lisp too?
Is it an affectation? Do you think? Like, have they? Oh, has that always been the way they're the dialect of the region, or do you think it's something that's been adopted over the past
My
50
understanding.
or 60 years?
My
There
understanding
was
is
a
that
king who had a
Yeah.
lisp, and so they didn't want to embarrass him.
he was like really, really inbred, if I remember right, and he had a
Yeah,
lisp over
and
the
so
list.
Everybody
Are you
started
saying
having
people with lisps are all inbred, Kevin? Because I don't
No,
think that's
just
nice.
that king.
okay. Is that true? Is that okay? Well, Spain.
King
That
Charles
is
the Second of Spain, or Carlos the Second, rather.
that
Also
feels
known
like
as
an old
the
wives'
Bewitched.
tale. But oh, they have haunted towns in Spain. Didn't we do a story
Yeah,
about a
we
haunted
did a
town in
story
No,
about
Spain?
hold on.
that town.
Hold on. The King of Spain had a lisp and was bewitched. Paul Lind?
Yes.
Are you guys? Are you guys tracking this? Are you seeing the dots that I'm connecting here?
This is
I just
Yeah.
broke this son of a bitch wide open. Paul Lind didn't have a lisp. He just had a.
Let's see if I can. Yeah, let's see. I'll show you.
Amanda.
This is Carlos the Second here, also known as Charles the Second.
Oh yeah, he looks inbred, all right.
He was. Yeah.
Yeah.
Was
He
not
looks like Rocky Dennis
yeah, he does.
from the movie Mask.
Yeah. Eric Stoltz.
Eric Stoltz portraying Rocky Dennis from the movie Mask.
You know, if you're a king and there is a painting of you and you look that fucked up, you must have looked super, super fucked
Yeah.
up in real life,
Yeah.
right?
Well, a lot of people don't know this. They didn't have Photoshop back then,
What?
so they couldn't really get all the, if you were painting something, you had to paint it exactly how it looked. There was none of those filters. There was no, none of those smoothing things. It was just literally a person and that thing in the room. So there was absolutely no way around, prettying somebody up or taking any wrinkles out or blurring out the what do you call the growth, the stretch marks?
What?
Oh, you guys fucking leave the stretch marks on your boudoir photos.
What?
You guys
is-
leave the stretch marks when you're taking your beach photos, or when you get action shots playing volleyball. You leave your stretch marks on. You don't Photoshop those out.
Like on
Okay,
you
now
talking about
whatever.
I don't play volleyball.
like on your upper thighs, like grow, like when you're growing.
Well,
those marks?
I mean, some people have them from stem to stern.
you just one big ropey twisted stretch mark.
I'm
It's-
6'2.5" or something like that.
Uh-huh.
You are not that tall.
Oh, all right. Well, I will say, I reached my maximum height of 6'2", whatever, in 1998. In 97, I was 5'1". So there's
Wow.
a lot of skin that got a little worn out
Look at
quickly.
that kid in the tin drum.
David Bowie?
Yes.
Oh, that's Tin Machine.
that
That's
was-
Tin Machine. That's his band.
But he was the little drummer boy, wasn't he?
He was the little...
Bum, bum, bum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
Bum, bum, bum. Yeah, he and Bing Crosby.
Hello,
Mm-hmm.
I'm David Bowie. Hey,
Oh my God. I know what you're talking about.
You guys ever this is well, maybe you have, so I don't want to make any assumptions. Is Morocco an okay place to go these days?
That's a good. I mean, I think you stay in the cities. You're in the good parts of the cities. I think they make a lot of money from tourism still. So
I've always wanted to go there, but if I'm totally honest, it's just Indiana Jones. It's just Raiders of the Lost Ark in my head.
Sure.
I have no idea.
Marrakesh. It's the only place you can sell it.
It's my only, and I've always wanted to go to Morocco, but in my head everything looks like, like there's a spider monkey in every room, and an assassin in robes with a long curved knife behind every corner.
You always have to be vigilant.
And a torrid romance that I may fall in and out of.
Does it culminate in some sort of personal conveyance chase? I guess they have rickshaws there. Don't they have some kind of human assisted travel?
Well, the affair culminates all over her titties. This is a real sensual episode.
It is.
The National News Service.
So, before I say that wraps everything up,
wait, wasn't a story about whales or some shit?
Yeah, talk about whales.
Did you guys hear this?
We're looking at the Iberian Peninsula. I don't know if you know this, Kevin, but this is where this has happened.
I was the one who had to point out where the Iberian Peninsula was.
We had to get a map out just to correct you, to let you know where it was.
You
insisted it was Madrid.
You where Spain was, or no?
It's not, Kevin. It is not Madrid. Madrid's in the center of Spain.
Yeah,
I
were right, Mike.
Well, it's still on the Iberian Peninsula, but it is not. It is a landlocked city.
Well, just because this came up right now, and I did not, but I know about this story. I'm just going to throw this story in, real quick story, because I didn't write for this because all fun and jokes before. I'm not a fucking scab like some people. A beluga whale turned up in Norway wearing a harness in 2019, prompting speculation it was a spy trained by the Russian Navy.
I thought about covering that.
It's reappeared off the Sweden's coast. The first discovered in Norway, far northern region of Finnmark. That's made up name. Finnmark, Norway. Okay,
that does sound kind of.
It's a little like all right. That's the kind of name you come up for a place in Norway when you're in the middle of a writer's strike. The whale spent more than 3 years slowly moving down the top half of the Norwegian coastline before suddenly speeding up in recent months to cover the second half and move on to Sweden. On Sunday, he was observed in Hundbostrand. That's like that band Hoobastank. He was observed in Hoobastank off Sweden's southwestern coast. We don't know why he sped up so fast right now, says Sebastian Strand. Ooh, my favorite villain that has to kill Ghost Rider. A marine biologist with the One Whale organization adding that it was particularly puzzling because the whale was moving very quickly away from its natural environment. Could be hormones driving him to find a mate, or it could be loneliness, as belugas are a very social species.
Really?
Yeah.
Are belugas the white ones? Is that what I'm thinking of?
There you go again.
Yeah, they're white whales.
I can't help what color they are, Brian.
I know,
but I've seen what they've been in.
It was real quick. He really had to jump on that they're white. Did you guys notice that?
No, I caught it. That's really right. It's every time.
But
every time.
Very excited.
I've seen where
White Gladys.
I've seen where they'll be in aquaria, and they will interact with the people on the other side, or just sit there and watch them. And
it could be hormones driving him to find a mate. Could be loneliness. Strand said that the whale is believed to be 13 or 14 years old. Is at, quote, at an age where his hormones are very high. Boy, oh boy, I remember that age, and yes, it's true. It's true. Lot of washing the sheets. The closest population of belugas is located in Svalbard Archipelago, which lies blah, 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 blah.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, supposedly he's a spy because he knew how to do a bunch of stuff and spoke in Russian. And
He spoke in Russian?
yeah.
Wait, the whale spoke in Russian?
Yeah. Was just speaking in Russian, drinking vodka
Well,
and
Not smiling.
Not smiling.
How did it feel about
He's looking
caviar?
and asking for what kind of mate he was looking for. They said as long as she is very, very chubby and has a furry face.
Was he wearing a dog fur Yeti costume? Finnmark, Michael and Kevin and Mark.
Just so Mark knows, we're not. When he says Finnmark, he's not talking to you. You don't have to say what.
He's not offering you a 20.
But a Finn was a 5.
Is it? I think it's 5.
I think it is.
You
Yeah.
should give Mark a 20. He deserves a 20.
Yeah. Well, if we all give him a Finn, he'll have 15. Then he just pays himself. He makes it 20.
Wait, why do we? You're the one giving him money.
Math.
You're the one that's figuring this out.
Yeah.
So Finnmark is a region at the very tip top of Norway as it curves around. I didn't realize that Norway really boxed out Sweden and Finland from the Norwegian Sea and the Barents Sea.
So welcome to the new show where we just read you portions of maps and comment on them.
Well, no, this is
better than Rogan. Spill everyone listen to Rogan or some shit.
Yeah, but
there is a hell of a story. I promise you, there is something fascinating. It's kind of like how Chile, stretches all down the western coast of South America. It's because of war with Bolivia, and they took their access to the sea. And now Norway has completely robbed Sweden and Finland from everything but the Gulf of Botnia? I don't know, the Baltic, whatever. Anyway, for our international listeners in Sweden and Finland, I don't know what happened to you, but I'm sorry.
I know the
it must have
Finnish
been a
hate
hard
the
time.
Swedish.
yeah.
The Finns hate the Swedes?
I briefly dated a woman who was like a Swedish-born Finn, and she's like, yeah, we had to come to America because we were too persecuted.
Is that a World War II thing?
I don't know. I think it's a all eternity of living next to each other thing.
I think it was Sweden was the local big power, and they forced the other closer countries to go. They were like the Mexico to the United States, and they brought in all their workers and mistreated them and stuff.
Well, that's no good.
Do they have any in Chile? Do they have any Chili's restaurants?
Yeah, that's
it's very. Didn't you hear what Brian said? They're all up and down the coast.
yeah. Baby back ribs are from South America.
So,
where we got it from.
Yo tengo my niño, my niño, my niño.
So that wraps. Before we wrap this up, I want to remind everybody we are closing the Patreon at the end of June. So if you subscribe by June 30th, you have 30 days to access all of our bonus content.
We're going to all ads. And hey, if we get Bud Light as a sponsor, IDGAF.
Right.
Excellent.
I don't give a F word.
Oh wow.
Is what I'm saying.
Wait, fork?
We need the money, so we're gonna go ahead and we are gonna get some of the biggest sponsors you people have ever seen.
Right. Like who?
How desperate would any corporation be to identify us as their means of
Brian,
rescuing
they don't know
their
that.
brand?
They know we're the best spokespeople
We are
for their
talking
brand.
Coca-Cola.
Yeah.
We are talking Pepsi Cola.
Uh-huh.
We're talking Squirt.
Okay.
We're talking Mr. Pibb.
Yeah.
We're talking
Shasta.
Tab.
We're talking RC Cola.
Ooh.
Oh yeah.
We're gonna get into the Juggalo market and get Faygo on board.
Yeah. Are there still Juggalos, or is that?
Yeah, they got a big thing every year.
They're doing pretty good, I think.
They still play though. I didn't know that they still did the thing.
I don't know that Insane Clown Posse still is that active, but I know as like producers, and they run their giant label, and their big carnival. I mean, they are, we are still preparing for the Dark Carnival, which is the culmination of all of the Insane Clown Posse records played at the same time, which will trigger the end of the world.
So that wraps up another week of the International News Service. Find us across social media at International News Pod. Email us
Family
at internationalnewspod@gmail.com. Check out the INS merch store at Redbubble. Don't forget to check out our subreddit at r/INSpod. And we'll see you next week.
We didn't even get into taking whales aside and having a little fun with them.
Refer back to episode 1 for some of Mike's fun.
Thank you for listening to the International News Service. Don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe to the podcast. INS, the news you need.